So I've built you a house. It's a big house, gives us millions of packs. So should we get started with the speed build? So I like naming my raw files, and for this file I named it a big house because it's literally nothing else I can tell about this house because it's just a big one family house. And I do not know how I came up with the idea of building this kind of house. Maybe it's all because of the Pinterest where I was Googling these like huge suburban mansions. So this is where I got the main idea for this house. And I was spending quite a lot of time last week trying to build that. I was Googling some suburban mansions on Newcrest recently, and that is because I thought that I need some inspiration to build something grand in The Sims 4. And this is the result of that inspiration. This speed build is more than an hour long, and this is one family house. And that is because it's on 40 by 50 lot in Newcrest. That huge one, which is primarily might be used for a park, I don't know, or a wedding venue or something like that. Or anyway, this lot is primarily used, I don't know, by most simmers. I think it's primarily used as a park because it's a huge lot. You can fit a lot in here. You can fit here a couple of ponds. You have seen my legacy challenge. In my legacy challenge, I have a pond, I have a huge greenhouse, and not that small house itself on this lot. And I'm struggling with filling up this whole lot. And I decided to build here a single lot. Maybe it's some kind of a practice for my future in my legacy challenge because now I kind of regret that I did pick this lot for my legacy challenge because now for 10 generations I cannot move. That's where I'll have to play for 10 generations. I have no choice. Like it was chosen before I even thought about that, and I was choosing that, and I didn't think. I'm ready to say that I did not think. So, yes, I admit that. About the house, it is a two stories suburban mansion. Primarily, it had 7 bedrooms, so it would fit up to 14 Sims. But then I decided that no, 7 bedrooms is a bit too much. So I did swap one of the bedrooms to a gym, and also, I did swap one of the bedrooms to a playroom. And we have this hall, like a bump out on the right side, that is like an addition to the house. In my imagination, maybe it was built a bit later after the whole house was built. Like, I think that people in real life do that all the time. When you build a house and you're like, no, that's not working for me anymore. So I'm gonna place this part of the house. I don't think that people do that in real life, but I did that in the Sims. I just said that people do that in real life. But I think that usually people buy a house and then maybe 5 years later they're 1 bedroom short, so they are building additional one and stuff like that. So in here I decided that maybe a primary bedroom was built up to this house like much later than everything else. So that is why we have it on the opposite side from all other bedrooms. But I think that now in modern houses, primary bedrooms are often built on the other side of the house compared to the all other bedrooms. Like it's usually quite divided, I think, but I'm not sure. And yes, I should also warn you, this build uses a million of packs. You might have guessed already by me using get famous windows and growing together doors. I think you could have guessed already, but yes, it uses millions of packs. Not millions, maybe 20, but it's a lot. And you know, I can do that because I bought these packs. I paid for them. I get to use them in my gameplay. I'm not using only free base game. I own all the packs, not all the packs. I own a lot of packs. I can use them in my gameplay. Like, and nobody's gonna stop you. Even if you tell me that nobody's gonna use these builds, I'm gonna use these builds. I'm not gonna use these builds, but I enjoy making them. That is why I'm doing that. So this build uses a lot of packs, and I do not regret that. I even used laundry. I even used kits, but I do not care. I like this build. It's pretty one. It's quite useful one. Like it fits in the end 10 sims. I know that you won't have that much, but it can fit 10 sims. And in this house, I decided that I need to make it kind of functional. So in here, I spent a lot of time thinking how can I fit a bathroom somewhere downstairs so that it's accessible not only from the bedroom's hallway and not only from the bedroom, but so that it's accessible from the whole living kitchen dining area, because we have quite a big spacious room downstairs where I decided to place a big, I would say huge kitchen, and that kitchen even has an island. That is quite a rare occasion in me building houses. I usually make kitchens so small that they don't fit even dining table. I'm not saying about islands. I'm not talking about islands. But here we have a kitchen with an island. We have a huge formal dining area. It's not like so formal, but it's huge dining area. And you know what? It might shock you, but you have seen here that we have a couple of chimneys. We have fireplaces inside, and we have not one, we have three fireplaces. And you might say, like, how come you have only two chimneys? Why three fireplaces? Two of the fireplaces are on both sides of one chimney. Yes, fireplaces are even sided with the chimneys. They are not on the opposite side of the building. So I'm happy for myself. I'm happy for this build. It turned out to be like a pretty suburban, heavily landscaped, just like I like. And it's literally a mansion. Like you see, even though we have seven potential bedrooms inside, we also have a huge patio space in the back. In the back, we have a huge wooden deck, and I decided to divide it somehow on the upper deck and on the lower deck. Lower deck is stone, upper deck is wooden. Wooden deck is kind of empty, but it's like a lounge area where you just sit, relax, talk to people. And lower deck is an outdoors kitchen. It has some pool lounge. It has a pool in there, and also we have a yard. In the yard, there are a couple of death traps. Like I replaced that pond from Get Famous. If you didn't know, with Get Famous, we got a pond where you can buy sharks or piranhas, and if your Sims feed them, they can fall into that pond accidentally and they can die in there. Or your Sims might dive into that pond and they might die. So it's a death trap, of course. What build would come without a death trap? And also, I replaced here a couple of fire hazards. And yes, not only fireplaces, but also in here we have laundry with the dryer. And if you didn't know, even if you clean the lint in the dryer, it can catch on fire. And for me, while I was playing with laundry, it was catching on fire all the time. It was so annoying. So I'm not using laundry all that often, but I like using laundry. I like when my Sims have some chores to do around the house. So in here, I decided to place laundry as well. And you see there is like this 4x3 room left from the entrance, which is accessible both from the bedroom hallway and from the kitchen, dining, living area. And that is the laundry and bathroom room. Sounds funny, but in there we have laundry, so it's a fire hazard for your Sims, just in case. Maybe you want to, and maybe you want to have a fire hazard. I like having some. It's fun for me to play like that. Like it's fun to have something dangerous around the house. And I even think about placing like a fire toilet in my Legacy Challenge house because as I play in normal lifespan, sometimes my Legacy Challenge is not that dynamic as I want it to be. So I think about placing a fire toilet in there so that I can struggle a bit about money because my sim, Jenny, she has married second time recently and she got some money from her second husband as well as from her first one. And there was some drama, of course, and I'm not sure if their marriage will last because she almost cheated with Bella Ghost during the wedding, where she got pregnant. But it's quite an interesting thing, actually. Legacy challenges are fine, they're quite fun, I would say. I feel that not so much is happening during my legacy challenges, so I want to add something fun in there. I'm seriously contemplating the idea of placing a fire toilet in my household. And if you do not know what is a fire toilet, with Eco Lifestyle we got this upgrade when you can place a compost container to a toilet. And if you do not use the compost, the toilet might explode sometimes. And that happens all the time, actually, if you do not use that. Like, I play sometimes off the camera, and my household, they have fire toilet, and they have fires maybe 2 times a day sometimes. And the rarest I got is maybe one time in 2 days, but it's quite often. It's maybe 4 or 5 or sometimes even 14 fires a week. That's a lot, and that is a lot of money. And as my legacy challenge seems they have quite a lot of money, I think that they might afford a fire toilet. I know that it might sound silly, but I'm really thinking about adding that. I think it might be quite fun. And that is maybe not that useful of addition, but I know that there is use for this compost if you use Eco Lifestyle a lot, but I'm not using Eco Lifestyle a lot. I'm not using some bugs from Eco Lifestyle. So I can suffer from the fire toilet, and maybe I want to. I'm not sure yet, but maybe I will. Still thinking about that. So back to the build. In here, as you see, I'm already trying to figure out some kind of backyard already, so I did fence the whole area in. I will change the shape of my backyard later, of course, but actually I wanted to build a greenhouse at first because I was a bit overwhelmed with the whole size of all house while I was building that. I was not able to imagine how I'm gonna furnish that. That is such huge of a house. I do not like building big builds, and you might not think this way because I think that you have seen a couple of my apartment buildings because one of them is 4 stories high apartment building. Sometimes you can see that in the background while I'm building this house. But that was a huge build. The road tape was more than 12 hours long. And I've also built another apartment buildings. It was like a townhouse maybe, and the road tape there was 7 hours long, so it's also quite long. In here it was around 5 hours long, so that is not that big of a build, but that's still kind of huge. It's not that small either. So I was struggling a lot with trying to force myself to build that because I was a bit overwhelmed with the whole build. But I wanted to build that, so I did. And if I didn't, you wouldn't see this video right now. So as you might guess, I did build that. And you might already see my excessive use of packs, like I'm using Parenthood Kitchen, I'm using Get Famous Windows, I'm using Basecamp a lot, of course, I'm using Kit, I'm using For Rent. You see, I've placed the teapot, I've placed some kitchen clutter from For Rent. And that is because I decided that for this build, I really do not want to bother with any restrictions considering packs. So in here we have a lot. And let me tell you about some rooms in this house. So right by the kitchen, there is entrance to the primary bedroom. In the primary bedroom, it's like a usual generic primary bedroom, but I decided to place there a rodent. I do not remember what exactly I did place there. And in there, I did place an ensuite bathroom. I decided to make something funny in there. I will show it to you too, of course. In the kitchen, dining, living area, I decided to make quite a generic blue Parenthood kitchen. And as for the living area, I decided to place 2 couches that are facing each other and in there so that you have to turn your head 90 degrees to watch TV. I know that it's not really convenient in real life, but it's The Sims. The Sims do not care, so I decided that it would be fine for The Sims. And maybe this living area is mostly used as a conversation spot, so I decided to place there also a ceiling fan so that your Sims might hang out here together. And I did place here quite a lot of sittings, as I said. It is 7 bedrooms house primarily. It's 5 bedrooms in the end, but it's 7 bedrooms house. So I had to place here a lot of seating so that you can sit most of your Sims down in the living area. Of course, you cannot sit all of them. Some of them will have to sit in the dining area, but most of the Sims are seated nicely. So I think that the whole kitchen, living, dining area is explained. And that room, that weirdish kind of room right next to the primary bedroom, it is an office room. I decided to make it mostly like a skill building room. So there we have a lot of mirrors, there we have a piano, there we have a computer. Also, I decided to place there a microphone. Maybe one of you Sims is an actor, so he needs a microphone. And I decided to place a microphone facing the mirror so that, you're talking in a microphone and you see how you look while you're doing that in the mirror. I think it's kind of logical. So I decided to do it like that. I try to not overclutter the whole build. I still placed quite a lot of clutter, but I think that the most of the build is kind of functional. I really hope it is. I tried to playtest that, but that's quite a big of a build, so it's difficult to playtest. I might have missed something, of course. It always happens like that. And you might have already noticed, but I tried to place here a lot of photo frames. I think it's a nice touch. I was imagining that a big family lives in this house. They were living here for years. They were living here for generations. So they have a lot of photos of their family members all around the house. They like taking photos together. They like taking photos in every event they're attending. So yes, I tried to make it look so that this family is quite close together. They like taking pictures, and so that is why they have a lot of photo frames around the house. And as for all other bedrooms, on the left from the entrance, closer to the front door, we have another bedroom with a chimney outside. This is one of the bedrooms where I did place a fireplace right in the bedroom. In that bedroom, I imagined that maybe there lives like a daughter of the owners of the house, and she's aspiring actress, but she doesn't want to be like actress exactly. So I thought that maybe she wants to be a blogger. That is why she has this whole station where she can record some videos and post them later. I think that's a nice touch for the game. So I did place it here too. And it's actually quite useful sometimes. If you want your sim to get famous, it's quite an easy way to do that in the game, I think. The next bedroom that is right next door, it's quite a generic bedroom. I just decided to place there a bookshelf, some sitting areas, some storage. Maybe it's grandparents' bedroom. I do not know. However you imagine that. Like, it's all up to you. I decided to make here a couple of generic bedrooms so any kind of Sims can live in this house. but apparently one of them has to be aspiring blogger. That was in my imagination. And downstairs we also have a gym. And I thought that that is a nice touch because fitness skill is not that useful in the gameplay, but if you are in a fitness career, it's really not convenient to go to the gym all the time. And not in every neighborhood your Sims will jog for long enough, and it can become sometimes really annoying. So I decided to place a gym in here. And if you have a bodybuilder aspiration, then your Sims need gym equipment in their house. That is why I did place it in here. And that is mostly it for the bedrooms downstairs. Upstairs, I decided to make one of the bedrooms kids' bedroom. It's quite small, but it's not that small because it's two kids' bedrooms, so it fits two toddlers in there. I did not place anything for infants up there, but if you want to, you can do that quite easily. And I decided to make like the whole toddler playroom up here. I think it turned out quite nicely. It's quite bright of bedroom. I decided to make even to place some murals on the walls even there. And also there is a place room on the second floor. I decided to place there that games table that came with Thing Get Together. It was quite long ago. And also I decided to make a divided area where you can play video games. I just placed there a TV, I just placed there a video console, and also I did place there a couch so that your sim can just sit out here and play video games. I think it's quite a nice touch. And I did place there a bar, so maybe your sims can hang out there with their friends. I think it's also a nice touch. I like doing things like that. And I also did place another generic bedroom upstairs right next to the games room. Maybe grandparents live there. I don't know. However you choose that. And as for the outside, as I said, we have a deck. On the deck, your sims can just hang out. They can just talk to each other. And I did place there that basketball hoop so that your sims can play basketball on the deck. I'm not sure if it's functional. And actually, I'm not sure that I play tested that. But I think that it's kind of a nice of a touch, so I did place it there anyway. And as for the whole backyard, I also placed there a tree house. So if you have kids, they can go for the multi-skill aspiration, and that is also quite useful one because they are quite easily accomplished and they give quite a lot of happiness points so that you can buy stuff from them. And I think it turned out also quite nicely. And I did place there monkey bars in the back and a swing set so that your kids have quite a lot of stuff to do on the lot. And I think that saying that, I might skip back into the build and show you the final product and maybe give you a slight room tour of what we got in the end. So, alright, this is the final product. As I said, I heavily landscape that, I warn you. And let us go inside. So, as you go up the stairs to this wraparound porch, here we have some lights, and this porch is not that dark. So here we have a couple of rocking chairs, a chess table, the woodworking table, so you have some stuff to do up here. And that is the swing set I just told you about. I just decided to make this faded door down here. Maybe, kids were scratching it with their feet while they were hanging out in here. And as you enter the house, I did place here, this is a debug light. I just placed it here so that it extends this light up here. And here we have like a nice entryway with some weird stuff around, with some entryway stuff around. We have a mirror, we have a shoe shelf, we have a coat rack. In here we enter the kitchen. Here we have our kind of big blue pretty kitchen. I really like the way this kitchen turned out. And I know that there are two fruit bowls. I know that. I like that. I like fruit. And in here we have our formal looking dining area with the fireplace in here. And this is our living area. We have some photo frames all the way around the walls so that you can hang your photos. In here we have a gallery wall. I just like placing them. They're filling the space nicely and they're filling the whole room. Here we have the entrance to our primary bedroom. It's not that well lit, but it looks this way because we have a lot of windows all the way around. And here we have a reading nook. Here we have a rodent, whiskers, I think it's a rat, and a bed to sleep. In here, I decided to make some kind of a fun bathroom. So we have it mostly this teal colored. We have a hamper in here by the sink. And I decided to make this like a shower nook. So it's kind of raised up one tile. And yeah, it's heavily cluttered and it has a lot of flowers, but I like it. It looks so pretty for me. In here, we have an office room where we have a camera. As I said, these people like to take pictures of themselves. Here we have some bookshelves. I know that it looks kind of weird that they're cluttered the same way. We have the same picture of one bird like 3 times. It's always so funny for me. I decided to leave it here. We have heavily cluttered desk, so I'm not sure that it functions properly. And as I said, this is kind of a skill building room. So we have a piano, we have a violin, we have a guitar, we have a microphone, so you can sing, play guitar, violin, piano. Also, you can build your comedy skill, charisma skill, acting skill, and stuff like that. So it's quite useful of a room, I think. And let us go to the bedroom hallway. Here we have millions of frames for our photos, and I decided to make some kind of gallery walls with the frames. So yeah, we have a lot of pictures all the way around. This lot actually turned out quite expensive. I think it's somewhere around 250,000 simoleons. It's quite a lot, and it is one of the bedrooms. In here, as I said, maybe here lives a girl. She's an aspiring actress, so she's a blogger for now. If she cannot access this table, you can just remove this flower. I'm not sure. I decided to place here additional light. Here we have a fireplace right next to the chimney, a rare occasion in the game. And she likes photos of her family as well, like everybody else in here. And so she can build charisma skill in here and in here. That was my idea. And here is one of our generic bedrooms. I imagine that maybe grandparents live in here so that they have some books around, they have a diary, they have a rocking chair in here, another of these bookshelves. I really like these bookshelves. I like that it's skinny, so it goes right against the wall. For these two bedrooms, we have this hallway bathroom. In here, I decided to make this like kind of a vanity area. So we have huge mirrors in here, a lot of storage, a flower, of course, a shower tub combo, another hamper. And in here, we have a toilet, a couple of robes, and stuff like that. And here is our red gym. I decided not to clutter this room too much. I don't think that this room needs that, so I colored it like whole colors, like this is whole red wall, red and white wall, and stuff like that. In here, I decided to place some fitness clutter, football, and some shoes. Maybe your Sims come in here to switch their home walking shoes into the gym shoes and they work out in here, and water, so that they can drink some water while they're working out. And this is our hallway downstairs bathroom. It's not a hallway bathroom, but it's the only bathroom accessible from this area. In here, we have laundry. In here we have a sink. I decided to leave the sink out from these bathroom areas so that in real life I would want to wash my hands after I touch dirty laundry. So I decided to place a sink in here. And in here we have this toilet with a shower, some privacy in the room you have. And up the stairs, I decided to make this open area. Here we have a desk area. It's also like a skill building hallway. So here we have a chess table. Here we have an easel. Here we have a computer, so you can do whatever you want to do. And I decided to place here a lot of flowers. We even have a bonsai tree amongst all the flowers so that it kind of matches and it doesn't look out of place. In here we have kids' bedroom. So here we have a changing table, a couple of toddler beds, this play area, and I know that this dollhouse won't be functional anymore, but in my imagination maybe you are moving all of this stuff somewhere around so that it's not a problem for your kids. And I did place some toys on this nightstand. I know that it's kind of not that nice of a bedroom, but it looks nice, I think. And as you see, it's mostly cloudy themed. And in here we have another tiny hallway with a lot of photo frames, and that is the games room I was telling you about. I decided to place here this table, like old one, maybe grandparents did place in here. We have a bar in here, so we can throw parties in this room, and that is that games room I was telling you about. In here we have a couch, here we have a tragic clown portrait, and in here we have everything for video gaming, just in case you want to. And here we have the smallest bathroom in the house. I decided to place here shower tub combo, not just shower, because we have toddler bedroom up here. I did place a high chair for a toddler, do not worry about that. And I'm not sure I did place a toddler potty. Oh, I messed up. I did not place a toddler potty. All right. Sorry, I might have forgotten about that, but you'll need to place a toddler potty if you want to play in this house. And in here, this is another bedroom. It's kind of mostly generic, but I think maybe grandma lives in here. We can fit two grandparents in here. In my imagination, here live people who like your main scenes. Here lives their older child. Here lives maybe mother's parents. Here lives father's parents, younger siblings. That was my imagination. Like the whole family lives in one house. I know that somewhere in Europe it's quite a common thing. And here maybe lives the grandma, and she likes writing books. That is why she has all of this stuff around here, like diary and stuff like that. And she has like the whole reading nook up here. And that is pretty much all for the inside. And as for the outside, as I said, the deck is quite empty, but yes, we have 3 chess tables in this house. And yeah, I don't think that is quite bad. We have another bonsai tree out here, a telescope, so your Sims might die. We have this basketball hoop up here, so your Sims might play basketball in here. Here we have an outdoors kitchen on the lower deck. In here you have a grill, pizza oven, another bar, so you can quite easily throw some parties in here. And this is the whole pool area. I think it looks kind of nice. I like how it's kind of closed from all the area around because we have kind of a tall fence out here. And if we go down from this deck on this side, in here we have this death trap, that is that pond I was telling you about. So you can place some sharks in here or piranhas and your Sims might die in here. And in here we have the whole gardening area. So we have a greenhouse where you can plant a lot of vertical plants, a lot of usual plants, and this area is left out for your bigger plants. And we have some bees in here. And I decided to place Patchy, and if you didn't know, he came with seasons. You can befriend him and he will help you around with the garden. And this is the monkey bars I did place. Here we have a tree house and a swinging set. And as you see, most of the landscaping I did is kind of a formal looking, but it's not that formal. Decided to make it look kind of overgrown a bit. I just like the way it looks sometimes. And in here, I decided to blend some different kinds of pathways. I don't think that it turned out that badly, but maybe it's kind of a controversial thing of me to say. But that is pretty much the build. And if you like that, and if you like the build, you can like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, and I think that must be a goodbye.